Okay, this is my 2022 Tesla Model 3. It happens to be performance. I think these problems apply to a number of models, maybe all of them, not sure. Um, so the problem I was having is wind noise. The wind noise seemed to be coming mostly up in this area, maybe a little in the back. And so one of the things I said was make sure that the rubber is secured in the slot in the car. Um, Now, I just had this replaced professionally by the service, Tesla service, and look at this terrible installation. There's a huge gap. See the gap? That's here, okay? I think the problem is, I don't know yet, so I think the problem is that it came loose. So I'm gonna, yeah, that's what it is. It's not secure. So you gotta make sure these things are securely installed. And then this rubber needs to seal this into here. See the gap here? I'm not sure I can solve that. I'm gonna have to work to solve that gap. So that's gonna probably add a little bit of noise. But I also see a lot of times that this is down. And so you could use a rubber mallet. I just use my fist. Make sure that's up, okay? Then an option is to have the rubber replaced entirely, because the rubber, I guess, it just doesn't hang out enough. Doesn't push out towards the window. Now, I have had it replaced. I've tried everything. I went in, I took the internal panels off, and then there's two screws at the bottom. I realigned the window on the driver's side. I didn't do it on this side, but we did tighten the door. The door gets tightened by moving this item here, this latch. This latch can be moved. It's pretty hard to move. You have to loosen these Torx screws. And then you get a soft rubber mallet. You can move it in a little. One video said put black tape. I did that on the driver's side, so I didn't lose the vertical alignment up and down. If you lose the vertical alignment, it might not shut properly, so you kind of want to retain that. So when I shut the door, now this one has been tightened. Oops, sorry about my fingers. This one has been tightened. When I shut the door, sometimes it shuts so tight. I mean, it's much tighter than stock. So you'll get a little bit of a mismatch. So the door is in a little tighter than the rear door. I'll put up with that if I can solve the wind noise. The problem I was having is the window was loose against this this rubber, especially along the top. I could go inside and push it out. Now it's pretty hard to push it out now. Now I'm going to walk over and show you the old one, and then we can talk about that a little more. So the old rubber is there on the ground. I'm going to get a chair so I can hang out on it. Okay, so what this rubber looks like is the is driver's side. I think that's the driver's side. So this would be the front. This would be against the towards the rear door, and then you see the seal goes all the way down. Now the seal needs to be tight, secured, and it's got a like a, what do you call it, like a thin part, and that pushes into a gap in the metal of the car. The same thing with the top. See that pushes into the gap in the metal. So you got to make sure that's secure. Since I was having problems in this corner, you could see that it's not really well formed. Now this is stock. This is just the way it is. One of the service techs said I could treat this with a really expensive non-silicone treatment softener. That might help. But you got to get that door, I think this is the top. You got to get the door secured into the top and secured against this groove. I don't know what else I can add to this, but I hope this helps. The This should reduce the wind noise. I'll show you on the driver's side. So we have this pretty tight, but you know, everything's tight. I inspected up in here. That's really tight. The window's fully closed. It's tight against the seal, meaning closing the door in here. This seal is good against the this plastic piece with the camera piece against the pillar. Feels pretty secure. You have to inspect it really, really closely to see if there's any places that this might have a gap. There's a little divot here. That could be an issue. We'll have to look at it a little more deeply and make sure that that rubber is properly installed. Or sometimes the rubber just has dents in it, and sometimes it's not an installation issue, but you gotta pull this against here. That's where it inserts here. You gotta push it up here, make sure it's installed properly here, and then make sure that the rubber at the top, the window seats into it. It's up in here, and then it's glass is squishing this part. So when I close it, you can see my door is tight, so it's a tiny bit of an indent. Some people might not like that, but I'd rather have less noise. Now that I have everything pretty well sealed, there's still noise, but it only comes on above 60. The faster, the more I hear it. The problem is my ear is like right in this area up high, so I'll hear anything. And then, you know, because the car's so quiet, no engine, there's a gap here that there's nothing you can do about it. That's just the way the car is made. There's another gap here. Look at the size of that gap. So the wind is gonna rustle across this, and I don't know any way to solve that, because the window needs the room to move up and down. We could check this plastic to make sure it's formed correctly. It seems like it is. I want to show you what I meant about the tape. So I followed a video and I taped the previous location. You can see it is moved in. It's moved in from stock. You know, I don't know, a very short amount, but that's all it takes. A few mils, like a 1/16 of an inch, something like that. But then open the door, you know, check this mate in here. It's all tight. Make sure there's no gaps. Make sure this is firmly inside the metal. But you can see the rubber as one piece. I showed it on the ground. The one piece goes all the way around. I don't think I'm getting noise from the bottom. I think most of my noise is in this general area up here. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. My name is George Borelli. I have a YouTube channel. I try to cover all these issues with Tesla. Please subscribe and hit a like. It helps me a lot. Thank you.